Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 259 of Looking at Stamps. We continue looking at New York themed stamps today, and today's theme is New York events. We have three stamps today. The first is Scott number 1003, issued in 1951, and it's titled Battle of Brooklyn and commemorates the 175th anniversary of the Battle of Brooklyn, also known as the Battle of Long Island. The stamp depicts Washington evacuating his troops from Brooklyn. This was the very first conflict of the Revolutionary War between the colonists and British troops. It was also the longest conflict of the Revolutionary War. Washington eventually lost this battle, and the British occupied Brooklyn until 1783. And that is 1003, the Battle of Brooklyn. The next stamp we're going to look at is 1012. This is simply called Engineering Centennial, was issued in 1952 and celebrates the 100th anniversary of the American Society of Engineers. And you might be wondering why this is falling under the New York theme. It's because it features the George Washington Bridge in the foreground. In the bottom left shows a covered bridge from 1852, the first founding of engineering. And then in the background behind the bridge is a skyline of New York City. So that is Scott number 1012, issued in 1952 and highlighting the George Washington Bridge. And one of my favorite stamps is this next stamp. It's 1027. It's simply called New York City and was issued in 1953 and commemorates the 300th anniversary of the founding of New York City. And this is one of those stamps that, even though I've had for a long, long time, I've never looked really closely at it until this point where I'm analyzing it for all of you in the Looking at Stamps episodes. And it's one of those surprises that I always find that I didn't even recognize because I never took the time out to really look at the stamp. This depicts New York City in a variety of different manifestations. So in the bottom left shows the Dutch town of New Amsterdam. In the foreground shows a Dutch ship in the harbor. But what I never noticed in all this time is in the ghost figure in the background is the New York City skyline. I've had this stamp for years, for at least 30 years. And have never noticed that white ghosting in the background. I've always seen the foreground issues, but I've never looked at the back. So there we go. It's Scott number 1027. Shows that you can never stop learning about stamps if you take a look at them. This is New York City, issued in 1953. And that is all the time we have for today. We'll finish this series tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.